Hello, guys. This is Shar. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Well, as you saw by the title, it's about Chris Fletcher, his daughter Lexi, and Nell Fletcher. Now, Lexi McCullen, I think her last name is. She did an interview with Real Talk TV. Shout out to him. Very good interview. She was raw. She was, honest, I guess. Her point of view, her reality, her aspect, her experience with Chris, as she calls him. She does not refer to Chris Fletcher as her dad. She refers to him as Chris. She refers to Nell as Lernell. And it's clear that she's hurt, she's bitter, she's angry, and she's kind of used to the shenanigans in terms of like the fact that Chris hasn't been there for her, hasn't really been in her life. And she pretty much implied that all she got is his looks. That's it. That's all she got is his looks. And as to say, he doesn't care about her really. He's not concerned about her really. He hasn't been there for her really. He doesn't really put much effort forth to help her or any of that. Basically he's not being a dad and hasn't been a dad. It's what she's basically saying. And she did not hesitate. She didn't make any excuses for it besides the fact that it is what it is. And she feels as though Nell has been a very big part of why he hasn't been able to be a father. And if that's true, if that's true, yeah, that's bad. That's really, really bad. Not like Nell. But if that's true, that's mean and that's ugly and that's bad. She will get her just desserts for that. She will get karma. Karma will come and meet her eventually. How and when, that's up to karma. But it's going to pay her a visit. It's definitely going to pay her a visit, and it's not going to be nice because that's ugly. You don't do that between a child and their father. You know what I mean? And I knew a couple like that. They lived on my block. They were much, much older than me. Much older. But the fact is that the woman was like that. She had her foot on the husband's neck. And when it came to his other kids that he had from a previous relationship, even though the kids were grown, she didn't really allow him, and I hate to say allow him to kind of really be a part of his other kids' life, just like what this girl is saying Nell did. You know what I mean? I saw firsthand how the woman would not let this man interact with his own grandkids. I think the one of the kids, the older daughter, she either moved on the block down the street. She moved down the street. She ended up renting a house down the street from where they live, which I lived on the same block as them, but she moved down the street from them, like a block and a half, 2 blocks down or something like that. And in the summer months, she would let the kids ride their bikes down the street to her father's house, which is her grandfather's house, And the woman would sometimes get so mad, she would cause a diversion, have an argument, or say he had to do something, or had him doing yard work. I mean, he just couldn't really interact with the kids. And I just thought that was so mean. And this is what Lexi is saying how Nell was. Basically, she just would not allow him to interact. And these men, they got to stand on business and be right with their kid and be like, look, honey or babe, I gotta go over my daughter's house, or I gotta give her a call. She said these people, her daddy, forget Nell, because Nell ain't really gotta be there. That is, that's not her mother. But Chris, he should have been at birthday parties. She said Chris has never really been to any birthday parties or any of her school events, cheerleading or whatever school events she was a part of. She said she was really active in school and he was never there, according to her. I'm not going to say allegedly. I'm just going to say according to her. Don't know if this stuff is true, for real, fake, fabricated, exacerbated. I don't know, but this is what she's saying. And I wrote notes, like, it was an hour and a half interview, but out the gate, she said she didn't care about nobody talking to Chris and them. Not to mention that she also said, and this is not in any order, I'm just kind of all over with it, but not to mention that she said that she just was surprised that they would even want to. First of all, she said that they've always, a little bit of a contradiction there, because she said that they've always wanted to be like on a show, and that, their lifestyle was just so sporadic and personalities and things like that, that people always said that they should be on a reality show. And she said they kind of always wanted to be on one. Yet she flipped it later on and was like, she was surprised that they were on a reality show, because she just knew that him being on a reality show, it was going to be women coming out the woodwork saying, I was just with him last week and I was with Chris last month. And she revealed that Chris has cheated on Nell, or Nell, however you say her name, with multiple women, not just that one woman, that one incident that they're openly talking about on Love and Marriage Huntsville. She said that Chris has cheated on Nell with a lot of women, more than one. Okay. So, yeah, that's interesting. And she said that, now this is, obviously this has got to be coming from her mother, because like she said, she was very, very young. And as far as she's concerned, all she knows is her daddy being with Nell. She don't even remember her daddy with her mama. So this obviously is coming from the mother. And she also stated that Nell pursued Chris. Like she was the aggressor. Like she was trying to get up on Chris and holler at him. Like he wasn't the one who initiated their, partnership or their relationship. So Nell was all up on Chris when he was married to her mother. Chris was married to her mother for about 2 years. So yeah, it was really, really interesting. She refers to Chris, like I said, as Chris. She does not refer to him as dad. She refers to her stepdad as her dad. She refers to her stepdad and her mom as her family. She referred to Chris and Nell as the Fletchers. And it was interesting that she mentioned early on in the interview, he had asked the interviewer, had asked her, tell me a little bit about yourself and, what you, wanted to reveal today. And, she was just, telling about herself. She was 30 some odd years old, married with some kids. And, Chris is her dad. All she got from Chris is his looks. Like she said, all she got is his face, and that's it. And she does look a lot like her dad. Really, really cute girl. Really cute. It was interesting that she referred to Chris. She said he loves to dance. He, a little bit of a jokester. He's very attractive. I thought that was weird. Like she said that he was very handsome. No, she didn't say handsome. She said he's very attractive. I thought that was weird. Didn't you guys feel like that was weird? Like, have you ever said that about your own father? And I'm not saying anything really nasty, like, like that. I'm just meaning like it was just weird that she referred to him as attractive. Like, I don't know. I just felt like I've never said that about my dad. Like, my dad is attractive. I don't know. I guess, to each his own. But I just thought, like, I guess I'm saying it to say that she was saying it like he was really just some man that she kind of know. He's an attractive guy. You know what I mean? Opposed to how you would think someone would say something about their dad. But anyway, Because I would have been like, women find my dad attractive or something like that. But she was just like, he's attractive, he's good looking, or whatever. But anyway, what else? I wrote notes. I got a bunch of notes. I pray to God that this video is not long. But she says she doesn't really get along with the other siblings. Nell and Chris really only care about their 2 biological kids. Like the rest of them is kind of salty and sweet, meaning it's up and down, like how Nell treats them. Like Nell is the one that seems to be the hot mess, which is interesting that and Carlos King even said it, that Nell declined being on the reality show. So it's a bunch of contradiction on that little part right there, because Lexi said they've always wanted to be on one, and then flipped it and said she was surprised that they were on one. And then Nell, she even said to Carlos that, you see why I want to be on a reality show? Because the family dynamic is such a trip. And it sounds like Nell is the one that's a hot mess, and that's a trip, and is trying to control the family, and actually does control the family the way she wants Ish to go. She controls Chris. Obviously, she's the mother, so she controls all them kids, even though they're adult kids. You know what I mean? She catch attitudes with them, and she uses her attitudes and buying them stuff or helping them out with bills or cars, in an effort to keep them in control and doing things the way she wants to be done. Allegedly, this is the picture that Lexi is painting. So she said that they've always wanted to keep up with the Joneses, and that they're name droppers. And she said Nell took her up to her closet and was like, see, I got all this Dolce & Gabbana and Chanel and this and that and this and that. As to say, this is all the stuff that Chris buys me, which I think is also mean. If that's true, the girl don't even spend that much time with her daddy. He ain't really buying her nothing, because he don't even really show up for any of her birthdays. So why are you trying to throw in her face what all he does for you? You know what I mean? And not to mention that his love and everything and affection for his daughter is going to be different than the love and affection he has for his wife. So yeah, I thought that was mean, if that's true. Don't know if that's true, just stating what she said. What else did she say? I thought that was a little and she also mentioned that she has not actually talked to the Fletchers since that dinner that they showed on Love and Marriage Huntsville, which that was early in 2023, back in the summertime in June. She says she hasn't talked to them since then. So she haven't talked to the Fletchers since last summer, basically. And she said they have not seen her children, which is not surprising. I mean, if you say you never really see them anyway, he's not going to really see your your kids, if he never really was around you that much. So, but yeah, she just continuously stood on the fact that she don't know him. She does not know Chris. She don't really know that much about him, but yet you still had a lot to say. Like, she mentioned that, she didn't know how they got this big old house, and like, they have businesses, Lexi. Now, I'm not saying they, are multimillionaires, but in actuality, the Fletchers have stated that they are multi-millionaires, and they have been in business in Huntsville for 20 some odd years. Now, when they started in these businesses, Lexi, you were probably young. You were probably a kid, so you wouldn't know that. Now, the fact that she was saying like she didn't know where they got all this money from. Well, the people do work unless it's going to come out that they are in illegal activity. You know what I mean? She indicated that the daycare that Nell had was her mother's. And it was just, she mentioned that it was just like some type of rift between her and her mom or whatever. And then her mom, she ended up starting to work with her mom in the school. And then I guess her mom passed or something. I don't know. I can't remember that part. She said her mom passed or she just started taking over and now she runs the school. But the school originally was her mom's. And I guess, and now it's hers, I guess, And then we already know that Chris is in the real estate, and then he has that cleaning service or whatever. So, and then who knows, they may have other multiple businesses, probably other investments. They've probably bought homes and rents them out since that's his line of work anyway, or maybe they've bought other properties and have actually sold them. So, they've acquired money over the years. At one point she mentioned that they didn't have that much money, lived with family members and stuff like that. Was really, really modest, didn't have much. But, through hard work and perseverance, they, got their stuff together and pulled together as a couple and acquired things, got businesses, worked, and, made life a little better for themselves financially. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I do remember Chris stating that he started off a little shaky, in finding his niche and finding his way. And, before he became successful in terms of having a steady job and bringing in income. And so, yeah. And then she was like, Lexi mentioned that she didn't understand why they had to have this big old house and that their kids were older and was moving out and going to college or whatever. So she thought that was strange. Well, hey, they wanted the house because according to you, they had to keep up with Joneses. And, just because their kids wasn't living there does not mean they, want to just buy a smaller home. Some people want a bigger house. They like it regardless if they filled with kids or not. But, yeah. So, what else did she mention? Yeah, she's just said over the years she has literally just not had a good relationship with Chris. She was told by Chris to come on the show for that dinner that we all seen. You can promote your business. I guess her and her husband have a CBD cannabis business or whatever. We did not hear anything about her business at all. They were just talking about family business. Lexi mentioned that they talked about her mother, brought her mother up and was talking about her mother for about 15 minutes, which fueled her attitude and why she was like that and hostile. And yeah, she just talked about a whole lot. She mentioned that she has mental health issues where she was thinking about unaliving herself at one point. She told her dad about it and he was just like, oh, I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that. Not really concerned, oh my God, why? And why would you want to do that to yourself? You need to get help. If I can help you find help or whatever, I'll do that. Or da 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 da. He didn't do that. He was just like, you didn't tell me that. Whereas right away, when she said that, it made me think about when his son was on the show and was saying that he was going through it and he was just so concerned and had that little crying moment, sympathetic moment. I'm like, why wouldn't he do that with her? But, again, we don't know if all this stuff is completely 100% true. What else? Yeah, she just said they were all about labels and keeping up with Joneses and trying to be so fabulous. She was shocked that somebody told her, because she said she does not watch the show. But hey, the Fletchers just really came on there this season, and Chris, he pops on and off the last few seasons, but wasn't a complete total staple on the show. So what about before the Fletchers even were being seen on the show? You didn't watch it then either, because they kind of just became happening on the show. But anyway, nevertheless, she says she's never really watched the show. But she said she was surprised to hear that they had like a book bag drive at the school, because they never have done anything like that. Now, I don't remember exactly. You guys can drop down in the comments. Nell never really said that it was something that they did annually. I don't even remember hearing her say that they've done it before. She said they did a book bag drive or whatever. But, for whatever reasons, that was a big deal to her. I guess because she's, hell bent on saying that they're basically so self-centered and materialistic, and they're not really people that give back, I guess. And we already heard at the dinner on that episode that they bought all the kids cars, expensive cars, nice cars. She didn't get one. She already had one. She basically said every time came down to her asking for something, they would always say, "Oh, you need to ask your mother, because we paid child support." And she always said they. She didn't say, Nell would always say, or Chris would always say. She said they. So, I don't know. Chris doesn't seem like he's like this. But, I don't know. Behind the scenes, people are completely different. Might be why Chris don't say much, because he a hot mess. Who knows? And he was close and was cool with Martell. Birds of a feather flock together. We already know he got that cheating gene in him. So, woo-wee. What else? She said it's just the Fletchers is just, their storyline is just a whole bunch of falsehoods. And what else? Chris has been... She said Chris has been what? And this is one of my notes. I can't even read what I wrote. Has been with Nell. I don't know what I wrote. But yeah, you guys drop down in the comments. You tell me what you think about Lexi and all her accusations, honey. This is a lot. She said that Nell was a dang on side chick. Nell deserved a side chick of the year award. She said she was then pursued her daddy and just took her daddy from her mom with her eyes closed. A whole nother coleslaw. Okay. Really cute, the girl, though. Really cute lady. I don't know what good my prayer would do, but I do hope that they can get it together or forget it forever. But you guys drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think about Lexi's interview and everything she said about the Fletchers. The girls say all she got from Chris was his looks. And that's all. Until next time, please drop down in the comments, like the video, subscribe. Until next time, bye.